Coming to you live from inside, outside, and all around our houses in this COVID-inspired lockdown. This is Calm Down with Mulk and Braden. Join us tonight as we have special guests, musical guests, video of the week, and who knows what else happens when we turn the satellite on. Please give a big hand to our house band, George and the Jetsons. Remember to calm down and welcome your hosts, Mulk and Braden. So much pushing. Hello, everybody. It is Mulk and Braden. We're here for another humongous episode of Calm Down. Braden, hello and welcome.
G'day, mate. Hey, remember when we started this and we thought they'd be 30-minute episodes? Buckle up, friends. This one is packed tight.
All the way to the rafters without any of those actors involved. We have a massive show tonight, Braden. So not only do we have the Queen of the Gogglebox herself, Yvie Jones, we also have the king of the former Game Show Hosts Club, Mark Humphries.
And Mulk, you'll be glad to know I have another special guest.
Oh, goodness. Yep. I'm not sure my constitution can bear it, quite frankly.
Yeah. And speaking of special guests, you know what I love, Mulk?
What do you love?
Gifts from fans.
What
gifts, sir? So I got something in the mail this week. Can I show it to you?
Sure. It made me.
I got a card that said, "Dear Braden, you are worthy," from Chris. Hey, so yeah.
Well, that makes this comment from Christy Morgan so much better.
Yeah, this is for the haters. Yeah. Actually, no, legit. It's a Nerf gun.
Are you serious?
It fires Nerf boards out. How cool is that? I bought it for my son.
Sure. Off-brand, but it works. Friends, thank you so much for joining us for episode 7. They said we'd never make it. And, we finally came through.
What is that?
And then someone else said, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
We quickly moved on to, can I buy you a coffee? We are here. We've got, like I said, heaps of stuff coming up. If you want to get involved, and we try every week to involve as many people as we can, post a comment on the video and we can include it like we did with Christy just before and with Sally Yabsley Bell, look, she's so excited. I don't know if she's excited for the boys, other boys, or her boys are excited, but someone's excited.
And what happens if they post a comment, Mulk?
Well, Braden, then have the opportunity to win the Calm Down prize pack, which is, as we know, Braden's Jurassic Park shirt.
And it's framed.
That is very slick and sexy, Braden. That's a great addition.
Worried about the glare. I'm worried about the glare.
That's all right. You'll learn. It's television.
Yep.
That really adds a whole lot of value to your worn many times shirt. I think that's a very generous thing you've done for the winner of the Jurassic Park shirt.
Looks fantastic. Yeah, they can win that.
Great.
Yeah, if this show ever ends, the best comment will win that T-shirt. And what else, Mulk?
They also win the very pen that we write the Calm Down rundowns with, which is very quickly running out. So either we end this soon or no pen in the prize pack. Look, honestly, Braden, that shirt is going to look great on someone's wall, hung in that frame. It's an amazing gift that you're offering.
The shirt, yeah. Now, Mulk,
it doesn't come with the frame?
Well, no, I'll need to keep the frame.
You idiot.
I'll need to keep I just thought I could present it.
Sort of make it look good.
Yeah, that's right. Now, look,
gosh. We have to say, before whatever shenanigans you're about to talk about, we do need to say that Luke, all of the fan of Luke, he's on assignment. And we will see him next week. The other thing is, I know
once his JobKeeper application is approved.
That's right. We can't afford him. Yeah. The other thing is that we know that we sizzled Mixtape for the Drive Home and Jonty Cornford to happen this week. Unfortunately, production hassles have slowed the release of their big single. So it is coming. However, it's not this week. Braden, how are we filling the void that Mixtape from the Drive Home have left us to fill?
Thanks, Mulk, for the softball. Friends, I'm delighted to announce that tonight is the debut performance and the farewell concert of the Acarona Pella Choir.
What does that mean, Braden?
Personal friends of mine will realise that I've had a very public mental breakdown since lockdown, and some of that has been evidenced in releasing 30-second a cappella videos.
Yes.
Acarona Pella, if you like. And look, there's a few haters.
There is, including
didn't understand.
Although this isn't hating you about the Acarona Pella.
No, and Radhika, she's in the choir.
We better get her out then. Oh, well done, Radhika. Amazing.
Positive. Thank you. So a few people have hated on it. A few people haven't understood it. Most people have loved it. But like all good things,
they come to an end.
It's come to an end. Like the black hair on Ray Martin's head comes to an end. So tonight I am debuting and farewelling the Acarona Pella Choir with a very special track. The choir members are going to be in the studio. They're going to join us. Yes. So just heaps to look forward to. Hang around. Mugford is excited.
Very excited for Acarona Pella.
And I know we're making our guest wait, Mulk. Yvie is in the green room. And we forgot to restock it. So it's pretty boring.
Pretty light on.
Mulk, I've spent all week last week. Last week was a great episode, despite the one or two glitches. I don't know if people noticed.
You wouldn't have. You could have just passed by them and not even seen them.
One or two glitches, but what resonated with me with Jo Griggs and the way she spoke about her experience of this show. It's I've played it back every day. Can I share it with you?
Sure. I must have missed that part. Yeah, please.
Yeah. No. Here we go. Jo, how have you found CalmDown as a show?
The best thing about it is it's just positive. So there's just nothing negative about it. It only celebrates people and celebrates great ideas and great companies and tries to inspire people. So it's a very easy show to want to be involved with, because I say to people, anyone who comes, now and then they say, oh, what would you be interested in?
CalmDown.
You go, the best show on TV. And once you actually understand it and realise the legacy that it has and the place it has in the cards, it is just the most beautiful show to be involved with.
Oh.
Yeah, so thanks,
what great
Jo.
affirmations from Jo.
Lovely unsolicited comments. And with that in mind, Mulk, compose yourself. We've got a guest coming on.
I'm sorry. You did the mouth thing again.
Did you notice? Not much gets past. We spoke about it at the production meeting. The guy said to wheel out that little gimmick one more time.
And you could barely...
It was my own mouth, and you couldn't tell.
It's your own mouth on your own mouth. And you can also barely tell that CalmDown was overdubbed. Barely tell.
My impression of Jo Griggs is almost flawless. Almost. That's on my resume, actually.
Actually, Chris Hemsworth.
Nearly.
He's being very kind. It's falling apart, and we are 9 minutes in. Very kind and say that he didn't notice any glitches last week. It was a flawless episode.
The NBN actually buffers some of our guests. Yeah, Gibbo he's a good man, Gibbo, actually. Cheers, Daniel.
Yeah, this mum that calls us Mork and Mindy. But that's magical that they watch it. We really appreciate it. We need to move on, because otherwise we'll just be boring everybody and entertaining ourselves. Braden.
The viewer stats are plummeting already.
The Facebook.
Let's fix it. Let's get a guest in. Let's fix it.
Actual celebrity is in the green room and about to join us. This incredible lady has done breakfast television, has been involved doing stuff on The Project, doing stuff on The Bachelorette, if you don't mind. She came second in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And we know her as the Queen of Gogglebox. I reckon we need to bring into this crazy show the very amazing Yvie Jones. Yay!
Yay! Yay! Thanks for having me.
Yvie, we are so glad that you could join us. And you have done more to all of this than all of our guests combined in the history of the show.
Well, you're very welcome. It's all beautiful from about here up. It's actually really easy to get ready when you don't really have to get ready, and you're just like, put a bit of makeup on. The rest is like, you know, what they call business down below. No, business up the top. Like
Now,
a mullet.
Yvie,
I'm a mullet.
Yvie, I want you to relax. You're among friends here. Dare I say, Yvie, let your hair hang down. Just.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
I know. That's the only one I've got. I'm sorry.
Look, that's all you get. That's it. You get no more.
You don't encourage him. That's one thing that we'll learn early on. Yvie, I want to thank you because you've taken yourself away from your very busy personal time to join us here on CalmDown. One of the things that we like to dive into, noting that the pandemic has really changed everybody's experience of what 2020 was supposed to be. Are you finding that as you push through this, and I acknowledge that, you know, the restrictions are now starting to lift, what's been the thing that you've missed the most that you're looking forward to when, air quotes, normalcy returns?
Beer gardens.
Mm.
That's it. I mean, cafes as well, but beer gardens. I love going to the pub. And I don't even drink beer, but I do drink wine in the beer garden.
It's 1 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, I just love being a single person. I live on my own. I live in a really great little part of Melbourne that's very dog friendly. I have 2 dogs. We go out most nights because, you know, when you live alone, you need to socialize, or you're just gonna go. So yeah, that's what I'm missing the most. So, but that Zoom, that whole Zoom thing that's happening is really, really good. But also, I'm talking to a lot of people that I've not really wanted to. Oh, you know, the worst part about all of this?
What?
Is the amount of phone calls that you have to make now. And Zoom calls that you're making, and you can't get off them because there is no excuse. I have now developed diarrhea, like chronically. So I'm
That's
like,
a symptom of this show, actually.
Look, no, I'm just ahead of you. I now go, I've got to do a poo. It's as simple as that. And it's really bad. Like people like Angie, who I've known for a really long time, and I've lived together. She's like, go on. Yeah. She'll just keep on talking. That's nothing new.
I mean, it's almost like, you know, being a young mum, a mum with young kids, right? You know, there's the only place of sanctuary is the bathroom. And you can't shut the door when they're, you know, mobile. You've got to keep it open and creaky. Mum, can I use that? And you're busy. Have you seen TikTok doing those mums calling out, can you get me the toilet paper? And when the kid comes in with a roll of toilet paper, they've got like a bit of Nutella and they wipe it on their hand and go, I'm so sorry. And the kids are freaking out. I'm here for all the TikTok like hilarity. That's especially if it's like really traumatizing children. But you know, the good thing about children is they grow up and they don't actually want to go into the bathroom with you anymore. I have dogs. They never stop wanting to go into the bathroom with you. And I found out the other day that the reason they do it is to protect you, because in a pack, when one of the pack needs to go in the wild, the others all stand around to keep guard so they don't get attacked and, you know, pulled away. So it's the dog equivalent of having a smoke standing around the handbag, just going,
that's it. That's it. And they're just like, wow, this. They're like, what did you have that I didn't see you eating? This has gone awful already.
It has very weird places.
We bottomed out early.
Yeah, it doesn't take me long, boys, honestly.
So Yvie, apart from, you know, trips to the toilet with the dog and sort of Zoom beer gardens, what do you do to, you know, in a sense, to calm down? But how are you taking care of yourself when some of life's pleasures have been sort of removed by Uncle Dan Andrew down here?
Well, yeah. Well, you know, some things are removed, but like there's a lot of sites that have removed their payments for premium services. So there's lots of ways to be entertained when you're at home alone 24 hours a day. I just don't know what to do with the other 23 hours and 45 minutes, to quote my favorite movie, Grease. Yeah, look, my lockdown is not that different to my normal life. When I'm not working, I'm really boring at home. So I do, you know, lots of, I'd like to say reading, but it's really reading my phone. I'm a social media addict. And, you know, I'd take the dogs out a couple of times a day, and that hasn't changed. So the only thing that's changed is just actually seeing people. And a lot of the time I'll see the same people that I was seeing before anyway, because they've all got dogs. So we just run into each other at the park 1.5 meters away. So it hasn't really affected me until recently. I'm really getting itchy feet now. I really want to start working again. And I've always been quite proud of my my laziness. I've worn it a bit like a badge. Like, I'm fine with being an idle person, but now I'm quite embarrassed to say I'm craving work. Like, I really just want to do something and get my creative brain working.
I'd say that too, but I know my boss is watching. So, you know, I'm big, really creative, doing the things, very busy, Molk, very busy.
Yeah, at least you're working.
Well, that's the assertion, correct. We're trying to encourage people to get involved in CalmDown. We had something just before from Caitlin Bird saying that Yvie is a national treasure. That was very kind. Christy Morgan popped back up again. This is quality chat. Bathroom talk is 5-star conversation.
You know what they say?
What do they say?
They reckon you can tell the group IQ by how many minutes it takes before it goes to toilet. And I tell you what, I bring that down every time, every group conversation.
I was going to ask, we make 10?
No, we never do with me. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah. But look, it's a natural part of life. We're all engaged in having to ablude. That's how it works.
Yeah.
We can just move on with life.
Yeah.
There's the highlight for the show reel at the end of the show. We all got a bloot, you know. It's what happens.
Look, it to me, I will never ever get over toilet humor. Like, I'll never ever get past it. It's to me the funniest thing in the world. Just hilarious. The sound, the talk, not so much the smell.
No, that's.
I mean,
and thankfully,
and everyone loves their own brand.
We're in a smell-free kind of environment here.
Yeah, that's another good thing about lockdown.
Very much so. It's just your own smells. It's like, look, now I'm going into it. I used to fly internationally a fair bit for work, and I heard some horror stories from, look at Mog. Horror stories from people, the air steward people, hosties, who would talk about the new person got the job of opening up the door when they landed after a long-haul flight, 13, 14 hours. And because it's like a frog in boiling water, if you do it slowly, you get used to it and you don't notice it. Yeah. But the person that opens it up at the other end and just gets hit in the face with the stench of 600 or 700 people having farted and burped and all the whole thing for all that time is horrific.
Yeah, it would be awful. As Kenny said, that's a smell that's going to outlast religion. There is a smell that's going to outlast religion. And I think smells are the strongest thing in the world, stronger than any, that what they can do to you is quite amazing. But speaking of, Braden, did you wash that shirt before you framed it? Or are you going to before you give it away? I wouldn't.
Look, the shirt's nearly 18 months old and it hasn't been worn since we started this show. So what's that, 7 weeks? I did wash it last week because I had to mop up a coffee spill. So it's freshly laundered.
Shame.
And I will fold it before I send it. So in a sense, it's cleanly folded, freshly folded.
Yeah, it's laundered and folded somehow.
Yeah. What more could you ask for? It's free.
Yeah.
Well, I think it would be nice to have the scent in it.
Oh, that's good thinking.
I reckon if you start wearing it again, you may
get a full Braden
experience.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe finale. If we ever have a finale,
could you imagine? It'll be the whole experience. Yvie, your experience of coming into celebrity, such as the weird world that is, was one a path that not many people have taken because we've had people come in reality context that have a skill and a talent. Your skill and talent was watching TV, sitting on your butt, talking to your friend.
Yeah, people think they're good at it. It's a skill.
What's been the things that surprised you now that you've been allowed behind that velvet rope and you're considered part of that great magical minority that is a TV star? What's been the thing that surprised you the most?
Oh, how many assholes there are. Like I keep getting like, messages from certain people, like just general people going, you've just remained really real. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you? But then I started meeting people and I'm like,
Yes.
you're weird. I mean, it's the whole creative artist thing. There's a lot of ego and a lot of paranoia comes with ego. So that's the thing that I guess hasn't surprised me, because you kind of think that might happen. But when you're watching, especially local talent, you're watching it and you're just like, oh, I love that person so much. And then you meet them and you're like, oh, you're hideous. But you don't say it. And I'm not going to say any names.
No.
But that's what surprised me the most, is how, people are not what they appear to be.
Has anyone surprised you and been exactly what you thought and was lovely, or that kind of vibe?
Yeah, totally. I won't say those names either, but some people I didn't like until I met them, and then I was like, oh, you're really lovely. And not people like Sam Newman, because I'll never like someone like Sam Newman.
Correct.
But someone like Alan Jones, who's such a cretin of a human, but to meet him in real life, he's just so lovely that you're like, oh, why are you such a dick when you're so nice?
Now that actually opens this question for me. How do you get to meet Alan Jones? What's the premise behind Yvie Jones from Gogglebox meeting Alan Jones?
They're related.
Yeah, the Joneses. It's keeping up with the Joneses. I didn't know he was my real mother.
Yeah.
So when that came out, no, it was one of those Kmart. It was something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was something he was hosting or plugging, or I can't remember. And he was just so lovely. I mean, he was probably completely putting it on, but I've heard from many people that he's a really lovely, charming man to talk to. And then his, alter ego comes
Click
out.
on the radio. Like, well, we as every other media organisation and personality has fawned since the news of Alan Jones announcing his retirement this week. We'd also like to send our best wishes to Alan and hope that he puts that microphone away, toot sweet, and never opens it again.
Do you think that he has retired or he's been pushed?
Look, I have some interesting personal, professional views around that. Look, between you and me, no one's listening. Absolutely, I think he was given the old elbow in the back by the new owners of 2GB, who couldn't afford to do another one of his trademark shenanigans. That would lead to them losing $4 million.
Yeah, they're just hemorrhaging sponsors, weren't they? Because of him. Yeah. It's there's a dinosaur retro, like just that hot. It's done. Like get rid of them all. I say, put them all out to pasture.
Please, can we? I mean, in good news, it does mean, Braden, that he'd be open to a guest spot, because he'll have not much going on at the end of May.
Yeah. Look. It's awkward with Yvie here, but we will literally take anyone. So, let's do it. Let's
do it. I dare you.
Sure. Let's do it.
If you could get Alan Jones on your show, I would. I'd might watch it.
People are throwing up in the chat. We don't want that. We don't need that. That's. I mean,
it just without sort of reinforcing it too heavily. Radhika has a very definite view on, I guess, Alan Jones, unless she's just catching up with the toilet conversation from earlier.
Or does she have corona?
Well, maybe she can't make it to the corona thing. She can't make it. She's done.
Do you know anyone that has corona?
No.
That's one thing I want to start asking people. I'm going to put it up on my Instagram. Does anyone actually know anyone that has it? I mean, I know that people have it.
People have it.
Oh, definitely. But isn't it funny that it's so prominent at the moment? But I don't know anyone who has it. I don't know anyone who knows anyone who has it.
Well, we get to be lucky, I guess, in that regard. If our reasonably broad circles of friends, we can't find somebody that's been diagnosed, and especially consider how absolutely insidious it is, and it has actually been killing people.
Yeah.
So yay, people not dying, and full credit to our healthcare workers, doctors, nurses that have been working around the clock super hard to care and treat people that have contracted it. That's been a huge effort for that.
I can't imagine what kind of, that job must be so hard anyway, and you just be so used to it, but that Oh, like you'd just be frightened. You'd really be frightened to touch. But I know, they build their immunity and all that kind of thing. So they're actually doing better than anyone else. But it'd still be just a frightening thing. I mean, we're so lucky in this country, looking at healthcare workers that are talking and doing all these fun little videos and things on post stories on
Yes.
their Instagram accounts that are like telling it how it really is, like just how frightened they are over there and just how little help they really have. We're so incredibly lucky. I think we're very I saw a meme today that said something like Happy Mother's Day to Daniel Andrews for being the best mum, because everyone taking care of kids that really aren't, have no gratitude at all. I couldn't agree more.
It's the thankless job, isn't it? Being a mum and being the Victorian Premier. They're the same kind of vibes. Yvie, thank you so much for joining us on CalmDown. You've been absolutely stellar to talk to. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yay.
Thank you for having me. It's an honour to be here. Thank you.
The greatest pleasure. Now, on your way out, please make sure you stop by the green room and pick up your gift bag, which is both virtual and non-existent.
Great. I will. Yeah,
I'll
enjoy that. Thanks, boys.
Bye,
See you soon.
Oh, what an absolute treasure she is. Marvellous.
She's lovely.
Very, very lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just relax. And thanks very much for coming to CalmDown. That was it.
Well, it is a tight half an hour set tonight. Wrong. Braden, we would want to keep encouraging people to pass comment. Former Big Brother winner Benjamin Norris has popped up and said he loves Yvie. Now, that's very nice of him to say so. It's great to have him on board. Angling for a gig on Hit Radio?
More than likely. Darren Wright has popped up and just said Alan Jones. I don't know what that means, but in the context of something, I'm sure it's something.
What? I'm going to put my feelers out. Regular viewers know I play a key role in securing talent.
Yes.
I'll see what old Uncle Al's doing next.
Oh, gosh. I'm not sure my heart can take it. Leah Warner said thank you to Yvie for joining CalmDown. That's very nice of her to say that, when that's something that we should be doing a whole lot better, Braden. It's probably time that we bring our next guest in.
Yes.
So
now, Mark,
what? Are you going to introduce them?
No, you should.
Okay. I'll introduce them.
Yep.
All right. So we had a chat earlier today with Mark Humphries. Uncharacteristically for us, we pre-recorded something. So we just want to let you know up front that
we were forced into a corner.
It was very simple, no technical issues. Mark was a joy, and we hope that you enjoyed this chat with the very excellent man who used to be the host of Pointless and currently does funny stuff on the ABC, Mark Humphries.
It'll come up on the recording.
Okay. Should I trim this part too?
Or you'll have to. We need quiet.
Okay.
I'll stop talking.
Okay. Mark, it's been such a crazy time for everybody as we've been dealing with this pandemic. What does it look like for you as someone who works in comedy and those sorts of things? Has it affected you much?
Well, other than the fact that this camera is resting on an ironing board, I would say no. I went and had my first haircut today, which is exciting. I'd held off from that for a while. As I like to bring up in every interview, I share a hairdresser with Ray Martin. And I think you can tell
Amazing.
that. Yeah, and apparently Ray is actually going in today. So he's getting ready for episode 2 of At Home Alone Together, which I thought was very good, by the way, last night. When I say last night, it was earlier in the week, whenever this is going out. So I just shattered the illusion of this thing. Oh my God. Oh no, I'm sorry. Anyway, but broadly speaking, I mean, I live with my wife and her parents from Russia and her brother from Russia and our 2 children that are now half Russian. And there's 7 of us, and we decided to move house during a pandemic.
Wow.
And it was a terrible mistake. But
the shell of a man formerly known as Mark Humphries.
That's it. Yeah. No, it took a lot of people to make me ready for this. But mainly the good people at Ambrosio International with their one outlet in Crow's Nest. But anyway, so we moved, and most things arrived intact, so that's pretty good. I feel like that. But my in-laws did not want to hire removalists. Yeah. And have you ever done it without? Have you guys ever moved without removalists?
Yeah, sadly, too many times.
Right. Really? Right. Okay. So you've done. All right. So you've. That's interesting. Would you do it
Not
again?
with small children ever.
Yeah,
I would
right.
never do it
Okay.
with small children. The last move I did was interstate, so we absolutely involved professionals.
Sure.
But no, I mean, I was a young person once. I had to put everything that I could fit into a car and move.
Yes. No. Sure.
And how's this for a no context callback just for the fans? Next time I move, I'm going to get Ash London's husband to come with me. Because on a previous episode, Ash said that her husband was really good at unpacking. So I'm gonna rope him in. The fans know what I'm talking about. Mark has no idea.
Sorry, I thought we were going into a sponsored bit for Allied Pictures Careful Moving. Clearly not.
Not during the live records. No, we say that.
I should mention that tonight I'm dressed by so anyway, we moved and everything kind of arrived. But the biggest issue actually ended up being NBN Co, who get a bad rap for some reason. But anyway, so we tried to get our internet installed, and I don't know how you do how you like your internet, but I usually like it installed into my house instead of my neighbor's house. But that's not how NBN does it. They think, oh, if you book it for your house, they go and take it to your neighbor's house. And then charge you $300 for the privilege because it's a new building. So it's actually even amazing that for all I know, I'm a series of pixels right now. I don't even know if you can see or hear me. You're just nodding along, assuming I'm speaking. But yes, so that was an ordeal. And
I'm glad that your neighbours have more internet now, though.
Oh, they are just zooming around the clock. They're just, my God, they're TikToking. They're so great.
Yeah. So
I mean, Australia is a vast country, and they've narrowed it down to the same street, so they get points for accuracy.
Totally.
Not detail.
That's Google Maps for the win.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, that reminds me of a Norm Macdonald bit, and I'll try and keep it clean because I understand the viewership for the program. But and I'm not endorsing what he was saying, but he's got a bit about Tiger Woods and how obviously Tiger Woods had a series of affairs, and but Norm's attitude to it was, but if you look at the number of women that were probably throwing themselves at Tiger Woods, I mean he's arguably the most faithful husband on the planet. So it's easy for everyone else to be faithful. They're not having the constant stream. But anyway,
now Mark, we're all funny men. I think we can say that. And
yes. I'm so sick of that segue, Braden.
Yeah.
My serious question is, and because you are a satirist. Do you sit comfortably with that title?
I prefer failed game show host, but I'll take satirist.
Oh, that's part two.
Oh, okay. We're getting there.
That is material.
How hard is it to do satire, particularly political satire, with the bunch of monkeys we've got in leadership around the world at the moment? How hard is it?
I mean, I always hesitate to complain because it's a privilege to be on the national broadcaster and bullshit.
Blah blah blah. Take it as
Take that as a given. That said, my dream would be to have to actually satirize really kind of competent people. I think that would be really interesting. I'd love to see what that looks like. So I as much as certain characters like Barnaby Joyce provide a constant stream, and you're grateful to an extent, you still, the way I phrase it is that you're still a citizen of the world, and you'd still like things to function, relatively normally and calmly. So, if I had a choice between all this, great material coming my way, or like not having a job and things being okay, I'd gladly sacrifice myself and go to the TV shopping network, and then
Could you
Is there
imagine
an
the
offer?
fun?
Is there an offer? Yeah. So that, or be one of the cranks on Sky News, just with my 3 talking points for the next 30 years. But yeah, so that's
One
the sort of.
I'll put him on there. No worries.
And so, but yeah, so the challenge, of course, as well, is that, like Trump, for instance, we tend, my co-writer Evan Williams and I, we tend to just kind of let him do his own thing, because the news cycle moves on so quickly with Trump. By the time he's told you to, drink washing liquid, he's already, onto the next, idea. So I kind of leave him be, unless there's like an Australian angle, or we feel like we've got a take that no one else would come up with. Yeah, but I think that answers.
Yeah. No,
I was about to make some defamatory remarks about Australian politicians. I'll let it go.
You heard it here first on CalmDown. Now, Mark, people may remember you from, your work is really quite good. People may remember you from The Roast on ABC2 back in the day. Of course, you very famously hosted a game show on Channel 10 called Pointless. And you're now doing all sorts of material. You've been involved in a podcast, a comedy podcast that is on Audible. You do comedy, as you mentioned, on the ABC. You're very busy, and the work that you put out is always great. You did share on Facebook the other day, like a clip of outtakes from Pointless that were hilarious. It was really, really fun. The grind of having to film so many episodes a day, I'm sure, could get tedious and difficult. When those light moments happen, how hard is it, or how hard was it for you as a host to kind of work that stuff in and keep that energy going? Because the stop-start nature of TV can mean that can die.
Oh my gosh, that's really true. I can think of particular episodes where just that nightmare thing where someone would give an answer that was not expected, but not in a good way, where they've actually given an answer that I can give a specific example. There was we used to have clues where it would be every second letter would appear, and you had to guess what the word was. In this case, it was cocktails. It was names of cocktails, and the letters that were visible were S, D, C, R. All right, and so they've gone, and so S blank, D blank, C blank, R, and so they've gone and surveyed 100 people, and the answer that we were looking for is sidecar. All right. So out of 100 people, maybe, I don't know, it was something like, let's say 27 people had knew that it was sidecar. But what this person said was seducer, which is not what was surveyed.
No.
But when they went on to cocktails.com, damn it, there's a cocktail called a seducer. So it's weird. What do you do with that? It's because they're technically right, but not the way that we want them to be. And so you have to stop and you have to go, what do we do with this? And so that was like a 20-minute wait of producers discussing. And so all the energy that you had of that show is just sucked out of the room, gone. And so, and we had a fantastic warm-up, Steve Philp, but no warm-up can do on a 5-episode day can then just go and fill for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Steve can, but it's just like it's a lot of work. And so then Andrew and I are getting involved and trying to keep it afloat, but it's just going longer and longer and longer. So that's certainly something that can disappear. And as far as because obviously those clips that I released the other day were of a sort of more risque nature. That's the challenge as well. You're trying to kind of push the boundaries of what you can do within 6 p.m. Try and pitch it as a level that adults will get the joke, and kids, it'll just go over their heads, like a Shrek movie or something, where you just not kind of, it doesn't really matter. And certainly sometimes, obviously, it went way over the line and couldn't do it. And the other problem we had with that show is that it was so condensed. It was a very, very short show compared to the British version. It's almost half as long, our one compared to the British. And so all that extra fun stuff, you had to kind of, you had to try and come up with as many quips as possible. It didn't really allow for long extended riffs, which, you know, sometimes we would go on and it'll be, wow, that was fantastic, that was hilarious, that's got to go. So that's why I kind of have some regrets about, well, not regrets, but just that I would have loved to have seen what the show could have looked like in like a 9 p.m., you know, 1 hour slot, or treat it more like a have you been paying attention or something like that, and just let it breathe a bit more. I think that could have been a lot of fun. But anyway, it was fun. If you got to come to a live taping, you got to see all that. So I've just got corona.
This is the advantage, friends, of doing it via the internet. Now Mark's infected and we're not. Mark, some people like, you know, laughing at people falling over, and there's all sorts of, you know, different sort of moments that people enjoy. For mine, it's seeing people who are in really serious kind of situations, or in moments of, you know, I've got to keep this show together, falling apart. And that clip that you brought up, there was a word that a gentleman mentioned that you, with a very straight face, tried to deliver as a part of the context of the show and couldn't. And I always find that burst of energy and awkwardness and hilarity that comes from those moments where, you know, we know Mark has to hold together. He's the host. He's got to drive the show. But he is right now, you know, laughing so hard because of the insanity of what's going on. Those kinds of moments are the things that give me life. And it was so great to see that happen, because I know you're a consummate professional. And of course, so the production team, none of that stuff got to air. But to see you lose it while trying to hold it together was a magical moment. It was so great. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thanks, Steve. I'm glad that it had the desired effect. Yeah. No, I mean, that particular moment, and people can go check my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram if they want to see what Steve is referring to. But I mean, should I repeat what it was, Steve, or should I just
I think it's best if they want to find it themselves.
They should find it. Yeah, go find it yourself. But basically,
and then follow, subscribe.
That's right.
That's a given. But like the reality is that thing that is cut down from it. I could not continue for 5 minutes. The full version is 5 minutes, and it was awful. I just could not stop laughing, and I felt really bad for the contestant because he didn't understand why couldn't see what the joke was.
Most of the other contestants could.
Yeah, and so it was sort of, because there's another element to the story which I can't really tell, but basically the clue was what the question was. We're looking for a lyric from the song Waltzing Matilda with 2 or more syllables. And so the answer he gave only had 1 syllable, and it was also a word that made me laugh. And so, in his defense, he'd confused syllables with, when I spoke to him later, he'd confused syllables with consonants. So he provided a word that contained 2 consonants, but not understanding that we needed 2 syllables. And so he couldn't understand why, for 5 minutes, I'm basically just like, you idiot. I mean, no, I obviously didn't do that. I never did that, but I was laughing at his answer. So I did feel bad for the guy, because it was just an innocent mistake, but it did provide a great moment.
It was so good. Brad, have you got any questions for Mark before we release him to the world?
No, look,
release him with this cough. Let him go out into the world.
That's right. Go to his nearest Bunnings for a COVID-19 test. Oh no, you're up in Sydney. You're stuffed. Down here in Melbourne, we go to Bunnings for our nasal swabs. Mark, I think we ask all our guests in this sort of phenomena we find ourselves in, social phenomena. What are you doing to calm down, other than, you know, highlighting some of the absurdities of society and our leaders very publicly, which we love? What do you do for yourself in that sort of Russian madhouse you're living in? You know, take care of yourself in the midst of this.
Can I give a huge shout out to someone who'll never hear this? She doesn't know me from Embarrassed. Sophie Ellis Bextor. Okay?
Yeah, next week's guest. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. she's been doing these kitchen disco concerts basically from her house. Every week she uploads a half-hour concert that's been filmed in her house. She's got 5 kids. Her husband is a musician, and it's just solid content. It's just really fun, and you kind of reminded, man, she had a lot of great songs. Anyway, so that's actually been surprisingly. I know it's a really niche thing, but that's one thing. Like a lot of people watching the Last Dance, Chicago Bulls documentary. But I think broadly,
like it's a bad thing.
No, well, no. I just, if you're not into that sort of thing, you don't want to hear about it. But I think, I've got 2 small children, and I do actually think being able to focus on them a bit more, and where they're not, because they're 3 and 1, so they're not conscious of what's going on, and so you can kind of just be in their world, where the most important thing is, getting a new toy car or what have you. And so focusing on the sort of really mundane, or not mundane, but the minutiae of their lives is actually quite a good escape from the big, existential issues that are plaguing us. So, I think although there are times where I go, gosh, I would have loved this, pandemic to come along at a time when I didn't have children and I had a lot of, DVD audio commentaries to get through. It is good to have something that's just a pure distraction in that form. So no, the kids have been really good in that way, but they don't know that.
And we won't be telling them, so your secret's safe with us.
No, they don't get any credit. No.
Neither should they. Mark, please keep doing what you do. A massive fan myself, particularly of your work on ABC right now with Barabbas Loins and Co. Congratulations for what you've been doing and for staying calm in what has been a pretty horrendous time. We really appreciate you coming on CalmDown. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, guys. And just shout out to Christy Morgan if she's watching. Christy, I know from a few years back, and I now live in Turramurra, so I'm near Turramurra Uniting Church, and so just a shout out to everyone there as well.
Well, feel free to pop on down anytime. I know that the minister there, Phil, would love to see you turn up with half the Russian mafia.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
What a nice guy he is. What a nice guy he is.
Yeah, no, he's a gentleman.
Look at this. I don't know how Christy Morgan, I don't think she understands how this works, but for her to say hi, Mark, after he said, is she responding to him or is she trying to start a conversation with him?
I think
me too.
Christy's watching from a gin party, so who knows?
Right, well, we've had our guests. We're seeing comments flashing up.
We've had 2 of our guests.
There's more guests?
My surprise guest.
Oh, okay,
and we are well into the 9th inning here, and there's so much show left. Acorona Pella Choir coming up, but friends, let's jump in.
Yes.
Last week, I was able to speak with Chris Hemsworth. This week's guest, in some senses, gives a snapshot of how far this show has come.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, Mulk, let's just see what happens. Hey.
Do I need to vanish, or are you okay with me in this corner?
No, you're fine there. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's watch what's going on.
Mulk, why don't you jump back in the screen before we get this live guest? Mulk.
Yep. I'm here.
There's always glitches with this. We've got to continue. It's getting late. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show this week's special surprise guest.
Oh, no.
Hi, Nana. And there she is.
Oh, it's Freddie Nana.
Hi, Braden. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, darling.
It's a bit late for you to be up, but thanks for sticking with us. Now, Nan, you've been a massive show of CalmDown since the very beginning.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and have you had a favourite guest?
Joanna,
yep. She's a lovely young lady, isn't she?
She really is, yes.
Yeah, excellent, great. And last week you told me that when we had Chris Hemsworth on the show, you were able to tell that it wasn't actually him. What gave it away?
Your lips didn't quite coordinate with his, Braden, and he
Oh,
didn't have
no.
an expression on his face.
Well, he's an actor. He's composed. All right. Well, what do you think of Yvie on earlier in the show, the lady from Gogglebox?
No, she was good.
She was good. Have you ever seen Gogglebox?
No, I haven't,
No.
Braden.
Do you listen to her on radio?
No.
So
Yeah,
she could have just she could have been just some random. We don't need to book guests because
No.
you would have. Yeah. Okay. No. Good. All right. Only a few more questions, and hang on. Just let me see if I can get Mulk to join us. Mulk sometimes tries rearranging things. No, it doesn't seem to be working. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. We'll continue. Nan, bearing in mind, well, who's your favourite grandchild? Who's your favourite grandchild?
You at the moment, Braden, because I'm talking to you.
Fantastic. I mean, like, you got to think about who else has invited you onto their live Facebook broadcast.
No one. I've never been on a live broadcast before.
So, yeah, well, you're doing great. This is completely live. And last question, Nan. There's a lot of panic and unknowns about this coronavirus epidemic and stuff. You experienced the Spanish flu. How does this compare?
I didn't realise the Spanish flu was happening, I don't think, in my life, Braden, back then. But
Yeah.
compares, I think, into the devastation, not quite the same as to World War II, when my father was away for 3.5 years.
Okay, so you survived the flu, but responsible. So it is a big deal. And how are you coping? What are you doing to take care of yourself?
I'm in isolation with Judy and Warren. That's
Yep.
your parents.
Yep.
And means I've got lovely company. I've spent 6 weeks with them, and I
Wow.
had a prior 3 weeks at home on my own, which wasn't very well. Wasn't very nice at all.
How much Scotch and dry are you drinking when you're in lockdown? Like, what time do you start drinking Scotch?
Just one a day, around 5:30ish.
5 in the morning.
No, Warren. 5 at night.
Okay. Well, Nan, look, we're getting the wind up, but thank you so much for joining us here on CalmDown. You're already our number one guest. Thanks for joining us, Nan.
All right, Braden. Thanks, darling. Love you.
And
love you.
That's it. How easy is that?
Good. That over?
All right.
Move?
Yeah. No, you did great. I will end recording, but apparently it booted you out last time. So I'll just say thank you, and it'll be on Thursday.
Look forward to watching it, darling. Right.
Thanks, Nan. See ya.
Okay. Bye. Love to Mel and the kids.
I will. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
No worries. All good.
Mark, you're back.
I don't know what happened. It was issues with the tech at my end. But how
I
great
think she was
Nana?
using the app.
Yeah, she probably was. And just to see your dad walk in the background, so great.
Look, between you and I had to ask Dad to help with the tech, get Nana on board, and Dad was cut real deep that he wasn't coming on. But the problem is that my dad just sort of delivers the same quality of, the same style of humor, just not quite as well.
Yeah.
So it would really drag us back. So,
well, look,
but thanks.
We got lots of good comments about it. Joyce Tungy, Braden's Nana, a highlight, which is both amazing and quite offensive, honestly. If that's all
she must have just tuned in.
I'm working my butt off here. Phil Dokmanovic, Braden comes good again with his connections.
Yep, that's right. Top shelf.
Rob Hanks, Nana, the gift of the understatement. His lips didn't quite match.
Yeah,
that was gold, absolutely. And it's Sally Yamsley Bell. Keep Braden booking the guests. Sorry, Brandon, whoever he is, but we'll take it to the hoop.
Well, let's just say there might be another guest next week. Who knows?
Sure.
Now we got to keep moving.
We do. We got to push through. A reminder, people, friends, if you get your comments up, you get to win the shirt. Yes.
Yep. Here it is. Frame shirt.
Asterisk frame not included.
Frame not included.
Now we've worked that out.
Yeah.
Tight ass. I mean, it looks great. Don't forget, we've got the Acrona Appellate Choir about to come on. But before we do that, Braden, we have to do everybody's favourite segment, Video of the Week.
Of the week. And Mark,
yes,
you're first this week.
I'm first. Right, this week I love a good bit of music. I love a good bit of invention when it comes to music. And this week's video comes from the home of Shays Fallon in the US. He just knocked up a little song for us with the Roots, who are all, of course, all at home, but playing things that maybe you didn't expect them to play, Braden. They're under pressure.
Sure. They are under pressure.
Like you right now.
I am, but you need to make me full screen.
I'm doing it now. Chill.
Okay. Can we give ourselves one more chance? Why can't we give love that one more chance? Why can't we give love, give love? Such an old-fashioned world, and love has you care for the people on the edge of the night, and love has you to change our way of caring about ourselves. This is our last dance. This is our last dance. This is ourselves under pressure.
What I love about that, Mulk, is
do you love
two of the
about
guys clearly had nothing to offer. So one guy's just banging the table, the other guy's just at the bottom clapping. I mean, I could be in the Roots.
No, well, you could have been in the Roots, but you would have been the guy hitting the frisbee.
Yeah, for sure. Like they just bottomed out for sure.
Really running out of
Mulk,
ideas. What's your video?
My video of the week is a short one, but a good one. Well, look, it needs no introduction. It's a famous song, possibly even improved for today. Oh, I pressed the wrong keyboard.
Okay.
And now. There we go. There we go. I love the internet. I love it.
What was that?
And what I'm doing is I'm basically, anytime someone shares a video on Facebook,
Yes.
I take it as their nomination for video of the week.
There has been controversial commentary happen just while Video of the Week has been on. I don't want to break our vibe too heavily, but Kristen Koo popped up and said, we all know who the real favourite grandchild is.
Yes. So for those playing at home, Kristen is actually my eldest sister.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly suffers some sort of delusion. But it's great that she's watching. And look, Kristen was the first. She's the oldest of the 108 grandchildren Nana has.
Wow.
So at least for a year and a half, Kristen was the favourite until I was born.
And then everything changed.
Everything changed. That's what my parents did, at least.
A very thick field. That's Video of the Week, guys.
Video of the week.
We need to push through. Sizzling next week's guest. Are you ready for this? Hot off the run sheets. Just put it in front of the thing. Coming up next week, Sammy J, sometime comedian, sometime breakfast radio host in Melbourne. Wow. Samuel J will be joining us. Wow. The most glorious Lady J-Mo herself, Julia Morris, will be in our screens talking about all things, look, probably celebrity and her glorious life. And our musical guests next week, 3 Chicks and a Beard.
There they are, 3 Chicks and a Beard.
Look at you go. How weird are you? Holy crap.
No, that's a screenshot from some show about polyamorous marriages. But it is factually 3 girls and 1 dude with a beard. So they'll be in the studio next week, 3 Chicks and a Beard. Cannot wait. So excited.
Great. Now, Braden, I've been, as I know, a whole bunch of our fans, watchers, viewers are here, including Daniel Gibb. Can we get the Seals to join Acorona Pella?
He is a creative genius.
So smart. In fact, ahead of his time. But I think we need to get the choir in to have a conversation, don't we?
Yep. Now we do, Mulk, and what needs to happen, mate? Normally around this time, you kick me out, make some joke about me, not really contributing much, and you drive this ship home. Well, today, everything's about to change.
So
Mulk,
I
need you to say goodbye, Mulk.
Goodbye,
Say goodbye, Mulk.
Thanks for joining us. I look forward to seeing you all on CalmDown next week. We're still happening. They haven't cancelled us yet.
That's right. See you, Mulk. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The Acorona Pella Choir. It's been quite a journey. What started as a dream became an opportunity, came a privilege, and now we have to, in a few short moments, say goodbye. But through the wonders of television, I'm able to welcome the choir to CalmDown. Ladies and gentlemen, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. No, don't worry. I'll keep waving my hands. There's two, James and Radhika.
Hi.
Hi.
And Julie.
Yay.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Just like the good old days. Now, friends, welcome to CalmDown.
Thank you.
We can see your names.
Great.
Radhika threw up in the comments earlier, and apparently James has an aversion to seals.
I hate them. Oh my gosh. I have like a phobia.
Trigger warning. And Carissa, you can't see her, but she is nervous. So everyone let's help Carissa calm down. Calm down. Friends, in a moment, we're going to debut our song. So we've got a few vocal exercises to do, but I thought it might be good. You are all ordained ministers in the Uniting Church. And the church is somewhat of it's freaking out, isn't it, really? Because we can't get in our buildings. So you as ministers and leaders, caring and loving and leading these people, what are you doing to take care of yourself? How are you, Adrian Sukumal White, get out? That's offensive. If Mulk was still here, he wouldn't have let that happen. I don't know how that happens. What are you guys doing to calm down? James, what about you, mate?
Oh, lots of things. I've trained to be a PT in the last 12 months. So I've become a personal trainer on the side.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm
Side
doing
hustle,
lots of
I like it.
side hustle. So I'm doing lots of running and keeping up with stuff outside of the gym and working out with friends and stuff, and just doing normal things like outside of church. But for church, just keeping in touch, and not always through computers. Like sometimes not even using cameras, like just talking on the telephone and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. It has this great function. You just dial a number and it connects.
Wow.
And just taking time out, like turning things off and making sure that I've got some space.
Yeah, great. Rads, what about you?
For me personally, watching Bluey with my daughter helps calm me down. Bluey is the greatest show in the history of all the things. Not second to this, CalmDown, obviously.
Yeah, correct.
Yes. For the church, just providing a sense of normalcy with worship and staying connected in whatever way I can has really helped people feel like their whole lives are not up in the air.
Yeah, sure. Carissa, what do you do?
For me, so over the last 3 years, I've always been on a plane. I've been out flying around Australia. So it's actually been so lovely to just be home and spend time with my 2-year-old. And we've been exploring Mother Nature, going for long walks, and then having ISO parties with my 2 young adult daughters, which is really fun. And honestly, just hanging with family, man. So good.
Yeah, great. Well, friends, unfortunately, we've cut into reruns. So we have to wrap it up. But what I did want to encourage you to do is, in about 4 minutes, your life is going to change forever. Once we've both performed the debut track and the final concert of the choir.
We're going to be defrocked, aren't we? That's what's going to happen.
No, not at all. James will have another side hustle. I just want to make it clear, this is a one-time show, isn't it, friends? We signed a blood pact. Well, a bit more positive, Chris. One-time show. But I really hope that what you've heard from Yvie and some of our other guests is how you can cope with that sudden rush of celebrity. That's what I really want to hope for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick you guys out. You guys can get ready, warm up, and in about 10 seconds we'll start the song. All right, so go get ready. Thank you. And I'm meant to be driving this. There we go. Everyone's in the position. Ladies and gentlemen, the Acaronapella Choir, you are witnessing history that will only be replayed endlessly across Facebook and YouTube for the next 3 to 4 days. So without any further delay, this is going to play us out. So thank you for watching Calm Down. I hope you can join us next week for another massive show, 8 o'clock Thursdays, right here on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, the superstar Acaronapella Choir.
There's a grief that can't be spoken. There's a pain goes on and on.
Empty chairs and empty churches, 'cause my friends are staying home.
There they read from Revelation. There it was, they broke the bread.
But now ScoMo forces locked down, and my social life is dead. Arriving in the foyer, they would gossip, hug, and laugh. Then they sang with voices ringing, but I can't hear them now. The lyrics they had sung, now it's some communion.
And a lonely minister for good. Oh, my friends, forgive me for saying yes to sing this song. It's a regret that can't be spoken, and now the pain goes on and on. We stuck teddies in the windows. We wash houses till they're wrong. Empty chairs and empty churches, and Virgin Airlines is gone. Oh, my friends, don't ask me what your sacrifice was for. We're saving lives and breathing up. This coronavirus is gone.